Braxcast time, and we've got a bit to talk about on the 8th episode of this podcast. I am pretty sure I got it right this time. And we're going to start with this news. Rippaverse is going to be at the Fanexpo in Denver from July 4th to July 7th. That's a Thursday, Independence Day in the good old US of A. And it's going to the 7th, which will be a Monday. This is in the Colorado Convention Center. You won't just see Eric July, but you've got a bunch of the Rippaverse staff as well is going to be there, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be exciting. I've never been to Fanexpo. I don't think I've ever even been to Denver or Colorado, but this is the next expo. We had MegaCon in February. That was in Orlando, and now they're doing Fanexpo, which is an exciting thing. And now, a little speculation on what we think could be revealed at Fanexpo, because MegaCon had the reveal of Horsemen, which has Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett attached to it. That's the same team that did Alpha Core. And I'm thinking, since this is solidly in the summer, that book is coming out in the summer, this could be the announcement of the pre-order. I don't think it'll be a campaign. It'll be like the pre-order window for Horsemen that's going to be revealed at Fanexpo. How they could say on like the 4th of July, the pre-order starts on Monday, and it's like a month window before you get the books. Since that's a Monday, they tend to like to announce the campaigns on Mondays. I'm sure they would do that the same with the pre-order windows. It could be later in the month. It could be August. They could announce that Horseman is going to be available during Fanexpo, before Fanexpo, as in the pre-order happens in tandem. Like it goes the week before. It would be, I believe, the 1st of July is a Monday. I could be getting that wrong. It could be like that week leading up to Fanexpo, that Monday, before before Fanexpo starts, Horseman's pre-order campaign starts, and they just use Fanexpo to hype it up. There's a lot of possibilities, but I do think since this is happening in the summer, we'll have more about Horseman, either the pre-order campaign being revealed, at Horseman at this expo, and then being announced later, or not, then going up later, it going just before, and Fanexpo leads into it. There's possibilities, but I think it's going to be very much centered around Horsemen, and also what they're going to be doing after the summer. So probably Isom free as well. Maybe even a little bit of Blood Roof if they can get that to Halloween, like they would really like to, since that would be a great book to release for Halloween. But anyways, it's going to be an expo. You'll be able to meet them. They'll sign stuff. It'll be a nice time, but also just as a fan, whenever companies go to expos and do stuff like this, they tend to like to announce stuff and time big stuff to come out for it. So you always want to keep your eye on this as a fan. Like I said, around the time leading up to it, we could have Horsemen, and we could be pre-ordering Horsemen while this goes on. They could announce, hey, this goes up on the 7th, the Monday, right at the end of Fanexpo, and they use it to hype up to get the hype built up for the pre-order, the first day of pre-orders going live. There's a lot of stuff to do, and I do think it's going to be centered around Horsemen, and it's probably going to involve what they want to do in the fall and winter of this year as well. But I think I've gabbed on about that enough. This is going to be the second topic of Braxcast, also the last one of this episode here, and Rippa made this post. How do you think a more seasoned, focused Isom fares against Chadran? Now, we're going to go into spoilers for Isom 2. So here is Isom 2. I've got the reading material here. This is where Chadran's first appearances, of course. This is from his cover A appearance. This is Isom v Chadran. It was a very retro style of cover. Sorry, I have a little frog in my throat, but we're powering through. This is a fight between Isom and Chadran, depicted in the A cover. The actual fight between Isom and Chadran. And again, this is spoilers for Isom 2. If you haven't read Isom 2 and you are wanting to read that without being spoiled, this is your warning here. But we're going into the fight between Isom and Chadran. We are at it right here, and I want to show this again. I think this is a great piece of artwork. This is Chadran's introduction page, and as you can see, there's two teenagers right here, and this is who Isom is protecting in his fight versus Chadran. And when Eric says here, how do you think a more seasoned, focused Isom? Focus is the word that I want to focus on. In this fight, Isom's not very focused. He's trying to save these two teenagers here, and he fails at saving her. She dies. You can see he's basically just using her to whack him. Get that whack there. Always love that. But you can see this is Chadran killing the teenage girl, which established him to be a bad guy, and also establish. I don't think you can see this word bubble here too well, but I'm showing it here. Is Cedric Gaucho saying "So you quit." It wasn't the first fight I'd lost, but I never felt so helpless. It outmatched me in every way. It couldn't be reasoned with. So this is the fight with Isom and Chadran that got Isom to quit because he could not stop Chadran. So of course, whenever you have a rematch, or whenever you have one character losing in that situation, you want a rematch. And one of the things that I've speculated on is that will Chadran reappear in Isom number 3? We've only had him appear in Isom number 2. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. I don't think he's going to be in Gooding or Horseman or Yaira. I mean, a Yaira v. Chadran would be an epic battle. And as a fan, I would love to see that in comic book form. I'd love to see that animated. But I don't think in Yaira 1 we're going to see Yaira v. Chadran. I think there's a lot of aspects of Yaira's character that needs to be established. I don't think Chadran quite fits into that. Of course, he could. That would be really cool if he did, but I think all the stuff with Projexis and who she's running from, the fact that she has this beef with Solari and the police and Alpha Corps is going to be much more of the focus for Yaira number 1. And also, what's going on with Stefania, to have Chadran be part of her story at this point in the canon. So I think if we see Chadran again, it's going to be in Isom 3. There's definitely going to be it's going to be a more fair fight, and I think this is him teasing that it's going to be less about Isom trying to save people from Chadran, more like Chadran just like being in a city, and then all the people can run away and they can just duke it out. There was definitely a bit of a teaser of that because in the Isom 2 trailer that promoted the comic book, that animated trailer from Rippaverse Studios, you see Isom and Chadran duking out, and the way the A covers environment is like a city alley or something like that, where they're secluded, where they can only focus on fighting each other. And of course, this is Isom having grinded it out in the ranch, training himself very hard, becoming more disciplined, more seasoned, as Eric is saying in this one. Would he fare better against Chadran? I do think he would. I don't think he would definitively win, but I think it would be a good solid stalemate, and it would definitely get Isom more information about why Chadran did what he did, why he's doing what he's doing, and also what's going to happen next as well. So I do think an Isom v. Chadran is going to happen in Isom 3, and I think Eric talking about this is a little bit more teasing it. I really hope that it is, but the biggest thing, and again, this is more spoilers for Isom, but we're going to go right into the end of this book. And this is the leader of the Hellions, of course. Isom number 2 ends with Bloodroof and Isom going to save Sam Wilford, who was abducted by these Hellions. He gets into the lair. You see, this is next up, Isom 3, and the conclusion of the Ill-Advised arc is what's happening next. And it's going to involve this guy, the leader of the Hellions now. I don't know how you have this guy be established to be the big bad meanie, and you have this guy. Maybe they could be working together. That's definitely a thing, and it would be Isom v. Chadran v. the Hellion King. That's what I'm calling him for now. We don't know his exact name. Could he be disguised as Chadran? There's a lot of stuff that you could definitely speculate on with this, but I think since we have, and I'll just show him again because I'm still talking about him, this character to contend with, that does put into doubt a little bit about if we are going to have Chadran in again. And I think I've speculated on enough. This is a bit of a shorter episode of the Braxcast. And again, we're just under 9,800 purchasers of Yaira number 1. $1.34 million last time I checked. I did check a little while ago, but I do believe the numbers are around there. So Yaira 1 is definitely very solid, going strong. There's about a month left on that. And I haven't heard any words on what the final print numbers are going to be for A and B. A, B, and C. Of course, D is going to be that mass print cover where they'll print as many as they need to, but A, B, and C are going to be limited. I don't think C is going to be more than 5,000. But anyways, this is it for the Braxcast. I really hope you guys enjoy this one, even though it was a shorter one. I definitely think I wanted to talk about these two things, and I'll eventually go into stuff like deep dives into Isom and Alpha Core. But I wanted to talk about these things. We had the lovely Fanexpo announcement that I wanted to go over as well. And also, Eric did win the Richard, I guess it was the Devos Award at Northwood University for young entrepreneurship. That award as well. That was in the Rippaverse news cycle this week, but that doesn't really have to do with the content of the Rippaverse, which is what Braxcast focuses on. But if you wanted to know that, that was a thing that happened. But the more exciting thing is, of course, Fanexpo, because this is where I think we're going to get more information on the release schedule for the summer, like I said, Horseman, and what's going to go on in the future. So be sure to look out for that in the coming months. And Braxcast is out.
Thank you for tuning in to the Braxcast. Be sure to like, comment, follow, and subscribe to keep up with the Rippaverse.